The topic of today presentation is a case study of, sorry, I think it is the role of our software in research. Actually, R is a software which used to data analysis in the research and many statistical computing techniques like measure of central tendencies, dispersion, skewness, kurtosis, correlation analysis. A lot of things you can calculate with the help of R. The objective of today's study is I want to provide you a very basic knowledge of our software. Actually, very basic knowledge means we will discuss about R, what is R, how to use it. How to use it means how to download the software R, how to install the software R, how can we start, how can we write the program in this, what is editor window in R, and how can we getting start in our software, how can we create a vector and matrices also we will talk in this topic, and some statistical techniques we will use how to obtain it with the help of R. Before starting the presentation, I would like to request you, please open your laptop so that we can do the hands-on session in between the presentation. And I hope you all have downloaded the R software from the link which I have shared in the Telegram group. So let's start. What is R? Actually, it is a time consuming in downloading process. So that's why I shared the link in Telegram. So please, if you don't have downloaded this till time, you are requested, please download it. So what is R? R is a programming language as well as a software also. Now, question is that what is programming language and what is software? Software is that in which we want we use a direct command to get our results. Let me clear this thing with a suitable example. Suppose we have a data of 500 data of height of 500 participants or 500 respondents, means we have data of 500 heights, and what we want to do with this data, we want to calculate the average part of this data. Now, there are two things which can be used in calculating the average part. If we are using direct command to get the result, I repeat, if we are using direct command to calculate the average part of the data set, it means we are using the software. For example, if we put this data into Excel sheet and we want to find the average part of this data, then there is a direct command that is equal to sign average bracket, then give the data range, close the bracket, and press the enter. Quickly we can get our average part of the data. So here what we are doing, we are putting a direct command to get our result. Means we are handling the software here. We are talking about the software. This is a software in which we can get our results with the help of direct command. On the other hand, on the other hand, in programming language, we can develop our own codes. So if we are developing our own codes to calculate the average part, so to calculate to get our results, it means we are talking about the programming language. So that was the basic difference between software and language. I said R is a programming language as well as software. In R, you can see there are a lot of direct commands which can be used to get the results. And we can also develop our own code with the help of these direct commands in R. So that's the reason I said it is a software and programming language also. Further, R is used in research. It is widely used in research. It is a very popular software nowadays. So we can use it in computing the statistical things like measure of central tendencies. I told you we can calculate with the help of R. We can calculate measure of dispersion. In measure of dispersion, there are range, quartile range, interquartile range, deviation, variance is there, and coefficient of variation is there. So if we want to check the variation between the data, so we have to calculate the measure of dispersion. Correlation analysis we can do with the software of R if we want to find out the relationship, linear relationship between the two or more than two variables. So we can take the help from the R. A direct command is there to get the result very quickly. And regression analysis is also there. We can calculate, we can do the regression analysis with the help of R and predict the values according to the data. ANOVA table is also there. Some testing of statistical hypothesis is also there. So a lot of many things we can do according to our research. We can do more things with the help of R. Now, next thing is that why it is called R. There were two persons named Rose Ihaka and Robert Gentleman. They created the R. And the first letter of Rose Ihaka is R, and the first letter of Robert Gentleman is R. So after the name of first letter of both the created person, it is named as R. Next thing is that a small team always working behind the art to improve the quality, to improve the packages, to improve the direct commands. So a small team is also working always behind the art to improve the qualities. There are so many softwares are available in the market, which can be used to analyze the data into research. They are SPSS is there, SAS is there, STATA is there, Minitab is also there, MATLAB is also there. But there is a difference between these softwares and in R. If you get a licensed version of SPSS, it means you have to pay much money, more money you have to pay to get the licensed version of SPSS. SAS is also paid software, Stata is also paid software, but here we can see that R is a freely available. Each and every person can download it from its official website. It is also available for Unix, Linux, Mac, and Windows. These are the platform where it is available for these platforms. So it is the official website of R is cran.r-project.org. This website can be used to download the official R software. So let's start how to use R and how to download. First, move to downloading the R software. What steps we have to follow to download the software are? Let's see. Open your browser if you have opened it your laptop.
What happened?
Can you see my screen? Is this visible? Browser Google Baba is there?
Sachin. Yes.
Okay. So we put here official website of our www.cran hyphen project project.org. The official website of R is www.cran.r-project.org. So click on enter. Let's see what happened. So this is the official page of R software. The official logo of R is there at the left top, and you can see there are three options through which you can download the software R. First is available for if you are running a Linux platform. Download R for Linux. So if you are running Linux, you can download R from the first option. If you are running Mac and OS, so you can download it from the second option. And if we are running Windows, so it can be downloaded from the third option. So click on third option. Let's see. Let's click on third. This window will be appear after click on third option, download R for window. And here we can see install R for the first time here. Just click on that, install R for the first time. Yes. Here you can see R 4.0.2. This is the latest version of R. It is available for Windows, and it is also available for 32 and 64 bits. So for both the bits, it is a single platform which is available for 32 and 64 bits. Here, download R 4.0.2 for Windows. We have to click on this icon to download R. Click on that. And we can see here the download progress of our software. It will take 6 to 7 minutes, but I think you all have downloaded it. If you don't have downloaded it still, so please download it. And if you have downloaded, just go on the download folder. Just find out your downloaded software, downloaded R software. Yes. Is this visible, my download folder? 6-digit 07.
Yes, Sachin.
Okay. We have to find here where is downloaded file R. So let me check here. Yes. R 4.0.2. This is the actually setup of our software. So from here, we can install the software in our laptop, in our computer. So if you have downloaded, we move further. Okay. To move further, just double click on this icon. If you have this icon, if you have this downloaded file, just find out it first. And to install the R software into your system, we have to double click on this file. Before double clicking on this file, I want to repeat the procedure of how to download R very quickly. So, sharing screen. Okay, this is my browser. This is my browser. Put the official website www.cran.r-project.org and press enter. This is the official page of R software. Three options is also there to download the R. First for Linux, second one is available for Mac or operating system. Third one is available for Windows. So click on window quickly. This window will be appear after click on that. Then we have to click on install R for the first time. So click on that. Here we can see download R 4.0.2 for Windows is available. So for downloading the R, we have to click on this window and progress can be shown here. Okay, now I think you have found it the downloaded file in download section. So this is the setup of our after downloading. It will be look like this R 4.0.2 Win. So now times to install this software in your laptop or in your system. So for installing it, we have to double click on that. Let's see, after double clicking, it is taking, I think some seconds it will take to open it. Okay, it is asking for the permission. I click on yes. Is it visible, sir? Is it visible, sir? Alok, sir? Okay. It is asking for the language now. There are 22 languages are there. You can select accordingly, but I am going with the, by default, it will take English language. I am going with this. Then click on OK. And next button is there. We have to click on that. Next. This is the path where you can download you can install the R software. If it by default, it is going in C drive. If you want to change it the path, then from browse option is there. You can change your path using the browse option. I'm going with the by default setting and click on next. Here, core files, you have to click on all the check boxes. 32 bits files is there. 64-bit files is also there. So you have to click on 4 and then click on next. Yes, there are two options. Yes, do you want to customize the startup options? I ticked on no because I am going with the by default settings. So I click on no. Click on next. This is the function R. Click on next. Yes. Now, one thing you have to remember always, first option is create a desktop shortcut. You must have to click on this checkbox. If you don't click on this checkbox, you will not get the shortcut on your desktop. So you are requested to click on this checkbox and then click on next. So it will take 2 to 3 minutes, I think, to install the our software in the system. In installation process, there is nothing, just we have to go with the default settings. We should go with the default settings and click on the next. But remember one thing, we have to click the checkbox of create shortcut on your desktop. Then again next, next. And at last you will see this progress in your window. So it has downloaded, installed in my in my laptop. So finish option is there. We have to click on that. Finish. Okay. Now desktop. See your desktop. See your desktop. A folder, a icon of R, official icon of R will be there. Let's start how to open it. You have to double click on this icon R, and you can easily open the R software. After double clicking on the R, you can open the R software. So let me share the screen. So there it is, the interface of R software. I repeat, first we have to download R software using the some steps which I have elaborated in the presentation. Then we have to install the software in our system. After installing, it will create a shortcut on your desktop, and you will see a official logo of R will be appear in your screen. So to open it, you have to just double click on this icon and you will get this window. This is the interface of our software. This window is called console window. The name is also there, console. In console window, what we can do in console window, it is used only for running the program and for getting the result. We have to run the program in this window and we will get the results also in console window. So let's start how to start this. Suppose from very basic we are going to start. Suppose we have two or more than two numbers, numerical values we have, and we want to add these values. So what option, what sign we have to put in between the numbers to add the values? So like we have 67653 value one, we want to add this. For add, we have to put the plus sign as usual as we do. Plus sign is used to add the values and write the value 67575. So here we want to add two values, 67653 and 67575. After writing it in console window, press enter. I repeat, if we want to add two numbers, write this command in console window and press enter. So for adding the numbers, we have to put the plus sign in between the numbers. Similarly, we can subtract two or more than two values. Suppose we have 87654, put the minus sign. So minus sign is used for subtracting the two values. 7644, press enter, you will get your result. So for adding, plus sign is there. For subtracting, minus sign is there. For multiplication, let's see. Suppose we have 45632 and we want to multiply it. For multiply, asterisk sign, the star sign is called asterisk sign. This is called asterisk sign, as well as star you can say, and write the second number. So what we are doing here, 45632 is multiplied by 687, and for getting the result, press enter. So this is the result of multiplying both the numbers. For dividation, suppose this number I have and we want to divide. In divide, for dividation, oblique sign is there. So for dividation, oblique sign we have to use 56. 587 is divided by 56, and to get the result, press enter. 10.48214. The answer is 10.48214. So these are the addition you have done, subtraction you have done, multiplication you have done, and dividation you have done. Suppose we want to get the value of 6 to the power 3 or 8 to the power 5, or 6 to 5 to the power 10, and many more. Suppose we want to get the results of parse function. So what command we have to write here? Suppose we want to find out 5 to the power, for power, caret sign. This is called caret sign. So caret sign is used to get the to get the power result 6 to the
Sachin,
power 5 to the power 4.
Sachin sir, could you increase the font of this window?
Okay. Okay. Is it visible, sir?
Could you increase, like for example, you can stretch a little bit more so that people can look at it.
So, okay, is it visible?
Uh, from okay for now. Yeah.
Okay. So power function, caret function is used to get the power result. So after enter, you can get the result 6 to 5. So this this was the very basic very basic operations which are used in mathematics and many more subjects. So, but we can see here there is a main drawback of this console window. There is a main drawback. What is the main drawback? If you have write something, if you have give a command something, you have given a command something, and press the enter once. Now you are not able to add it in the previous command. So in console window, you cannot add it into your previous command in console window. So to overcome this difficulty or overcome to this drawback, we have another window that is called editor window. And how can we get editor window? Just we have to go on file option is there, left top, click on that. We can click on new script here. So click on new script. So there is a new window named R editor. So this is our editor window. Now the question is that suppose we want to add two values, the command is there. Rati sir, is this visible now?
Yes, yes, sir. Now
Okay,
it's
okay, okay. We want to add these two numbers, but question is that how we can run this command from our editor to our console window. Question is that because the result will be appear in our console window and we are writing in our editor. So there is a method to run this program into the R console. Select the command, whatever you want to run, select the command, whatever you want to run, and press Control R together. Control R. I repeat, we have to press R control together. So after click on R control, the value will be appear in our console window. This is 108140. So this is the procedure through which we can run our program from our editor to our console window. Now, what we are doing till time, we are writing just numbers, add something and subtract. Power function we have used. We are writing the direct numbers. If we want to store a number into any variable, then what command we have to given into the R software? Suppose we want to take a variable a which has value 5. We want to take variable b which has value 10. So what command we have to given? What command we have to write in R so that it can read easily? So there is a sign less than minus. Less than minus sign is called the assignment operator in R. Assignment operator means it is used to assign a value, a numerical value or a mathematical expression into a variable R, into R. So this sign is called the assignment operator. We can write here a less than minus 5. So what we are doing here, we are storing 5 in a variable a. This operator assign the value 5 into A. Similarly, we can write B less than minus 10. 10 is stored in variable B. One more variable is called assignment operator in R, that is equal to sign. You can just simply write A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 10. So both the sign less than minus and equal to, both are the assignment operator. The value of A is equal to 5 is exactly equal to A less than minus 5. So it's up to you. You can use any one. Both are the assignment operator. Now, suppose we have A is 5, B is 10, and C is equal to 3, 4, 5, 7. We are changing the values in A, B. A is 5 this and power 3. B is 10, 9, 8 into 4 minus 4, 5, 6 to the power 2, and C is this. Now this is for you. You have to tell me what will be the value of D if D is equal to A minus B plus C. So what we are doing here, let me explain a little bit. We are storing this number in A. We are storing this number in B. We are storing 3, 5, 6, 7 in C, and we are trying to calculate the value of D. D is A minus B plus C. So we have stored this value in variable D. Okay. So for getting the results, if we run this program, if A is equal to 5, 6, 7, this BC, and C is equal to this, and D is equal to this, we want to run this program. And for running, I have told you, select the command, whatever we want to run, and press Control R. So you can see here, A is the value of A, B value, C, and D. But still, we don't have the result. We don't have the value of D. So here, what we have done, we have stored the result in D, and we are not calling D for print. So we have to write here print D. Okay. Now run this program. Control R. A is equal to, B is equal to given here, C is equal to, D is equal to, then print D. If you are writing the command print D, then it will provide you the result. The result is 182491374. So very quickly you can get your results very quickly with the help of R. Let me mention one thing here. R is case sensitive. Case sensitive means you have stored the value of A, this numerical value into A, capital A. You have stored this value in capital B. This is in capital C, and this is in capital D. So you have to use capital values of A, B, C, and D in your expression. If you write here small a, then let's see what happens. Select the command and Control R. It is showing error. Object A not found. It is true. Object A is not in our program. Small a is not in our program because we have stored this value in capital A. So we have to put here capital A. And similarly, we have to write here print capital D. If we are writing here small d and run the program, let's run it. Select the command, select the program, and press Control R. It is also showing error in print D, object D not found. Similarly, we have to write here to get the result capital D. So this was the basic of R. Now let's move further. What we are doing till time, we are doing just a number is stored in a variable. A single number is stored in a single variable. This thing we have done. But practically, it is not possible always. We have only one number. It is not possible always practically. It may be happen that we have more than one or two variables, more than one and more than two variables. It may be n variables, n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so anything. So the question is that if we have more than one variable, how can we store these numbers into a variable? Okay, suppose we have the marks of 5 students. 80 is there, 70 is there, 78, 97, and 95. These are the marks of 5 students out of 100, and we want to enter this data into our language. So what we have to do here, let's take M, which show the marks. M for marks is equal to C bracket and bracket. So whatever we want to enter into R, the data, sorry, Control C, and put the data into between the parentheses. So M is equal to 80, 70, 78, 97, 95. So this this is the method through which we can store more than one values into a single variable. Let's run it. And before running it, we have to write here. What we have to write here? Print M. If we want to get the numbers in console window, so we have to write here print M. So let's run it. Control R. So numbers are 80, 70, 78, 97, and 95. And this one, it is showing 1 in square bracket. This shows that 80 is the first value in this row. 80 is the first value in this row. Now that was the thing through which we can enter the more than one data into a single variable. Let's now I have an exercise for you. We have a data of 5 participants, and we want to calculate the BMI of these participants. And let me clear one thing: for calculating the BMI, we must have the data of height along with their weight, and height should be mentioned in meters. So I am giving you height. Suppose height is defined by h is equal to 5 data we are taking. So we have to use vector metric vector command. The height is 1.89. The height of second person is 2.01. This is in meters. And the height of third person is 1.98, and for fourth one 2.10, and fifth one 2.0. So this is the data of height, and bracket close. Let's run this program. There is any error or not? Control R. Select this command and Control R. Here we can see there is no error. If error occurred in this line, then R will show the error here in console window. You can see. So it is not showing any error. It means there is no error in data entering. Now, second thing is that we must have weight of the participants. W is equal to weight of 5 participants. Let's suppose first is 89. The weight of first person is 89, and for second 78, and 75 third. For fourth person it is 70, and for fifth it is 80. So these are two data we have, and we want to calculate the BMI. So for getting the BMI, there is a formula: weight upon height square. For getting the formula of for getting the BMI, there is a formula of BMI is weight upon height square. So I'm writing here BMI is equal to height. Height is stored in which variable? Sorry, weight. Weight is stored in which variable? W. So we have to write here W, which is divided by height. Height is stored in H. So H, and we have to do the power of H2. So this is the formula: BMI is equal to weight upon height to the power 2. Now you will run this program in R console and get your answer, and write your answer in the comment box. You have 2 to 3 minutes to complete this task, and write your answer after getting the result. Write your answer in the comment box. 2 minutes you can take for this. Organizers. Hello. Ashish sir. Okay, I think you have done this thing. So let's check the answer, what you have given. First, we have to write here print BMI in small letters, because we have stored the data into small letters. We have stored the data of BMI in small letter of BMI. So we have to print BMI here. Okay, let's run it and check the answer, who has given the right answer. Select this command and press the Control R. Press the Control R. You can see the results here. 24.91. The BMI of first person is 24.91532. For the second person, it is 19.30645. For third, it is 19.13070. For fourth, 15.87302. And for fifth, it is exactly equal to 20. So these are the results of BMI is mentioned here. Now let's move further. Suppose we want to enter the 100 data, first 100 numerical values. Means we want to enter the from 0 to 100 values into the R. So my question is clear, I think. What we are going to do, we are trying to enter the first 100 numerical values like 0, 1, 2 up to 100 into R. So what we will do like S is equal to C 0, 1, 2 and so on, but this will take a much time into entering the data. So we have a command that is called sequence command, which will be equal to S is equal to SEQ. SEQ. We have to write SEQ, then bracket 0, 100, 1, parenthesis close. So what we are doing here, we are generating the numbers of 0 to 100, and it is stored in value S, in alphabet S, in variable S. So for getting the result, let's see, is there any error or not? Select this command and press Control R. So we can see here, there is no error in our command. Command is right. So let's move further. Sequence 0, 100, 1. Now what we have to write here, because we are storing the values in S. So we have to write here print S, and now let's run it. S is equal to sequence 0, 101, print S, Control R. So you can see you have generated 100 numbers from 0 to 100. Now let's understand the command, what we have given. SEQ means we are generating a sequence. From where to where? The minimum value will be 0 and it will go up to 100 with the increment of 1. It shows this thing. Sequence function is used to generate the sequence, to generate the numbers. First value shows that it will be minimum value. Second value shows that it will be highest value. And this last value shows that it will take the increment of one value. So results you can see here, print S, first value is 0, 19th value is 18, 37th value is 36, and so on. You can see here the last value is 100. Okay, if you want to generate this sequence, S is equal to SEQ bracket 10 to 200, comma, with the increment of 2. Just, well, we have to write this command in this way and print S also. So what we are doing here, we are generating a sequence from 10 to 200 with the interval of 2. The minimum value will be 100, highest value will be 200, and the increment will be 2. So let's see what happened after running it. Control R. So you can see here the first value is 10, then 12, 14, 16, up to 200. So with the interval of 2, we have generated a sequence from 10 to 200. Okay. Now, next is we want to check that what is the 65th observation in this variable. What we are trying to do, we are trying to find out the 65th observation in the sequence S is equal to 10 to 200 with 2 interval. So what command we have to write here? We have to write here S square bracket and write 25th in between the square bracket. So let's run it. Control R. So the value of S25, the value of 25th is 58. Here you can see this is the 20th value. This is the 20th value, 21, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 58 is there at the place of 25th. So this is the command if you want to go up particular value. Next, if you want to generate first 20 values, 1 semicolon 20. This is the command which is used for generating the first 20 value. First 20 value in which we want to generate first 20 value in this sequence. Let's run it. Control R. So this is the first 20 value, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 up to 48. This is the method through which you can calculate between any numbers 10 to 20, 11 to 20. If we want to generate, then again select this command and Control R press. So the 30 is the 11th value, 32 is the 12th, up to 48 is the 20th value. Now we want to check that we want to obtain that value which are greater than 135. Suppose the command is s square bracket s greater than 135. What it will provide you? It will provide us the values which will be greater than 135 in this command. Okay, what we are going to do, we are trying to find out the values which are greater than 135 in this command. So what we are going to do, we are trying to run this program, Control R, and we can see here s greater than 135 means 136, 138, 140, 142, 1. So these are the values which are greater than 135. So in this way, if we want to get the results like that, we can use this type of command. Now we want to calculate how many numbers they are which are greater than 135. First, let we start from here. We want to check that how many numbers are there. So there is a command for that, which is equal to length, length, length s. Because these all values are stored in s. So what we are going to do, we are trying to check out the length of s. Length of s means how many observations are exist in s. So let me clear first. Let me clear it. Control L is used to clear the console window. Control L. So let's let's run it. Control R. So here S is a sequence. What we have done, we have generated a sequence from 10 to 200 with interval of 2. It means it will be 12, 14, 10, 12, 14, 16 with the interval of 2 up to 100 it will go. And then we have printed S. The values of S is here also in console window. And we want to know how many observations are there. So the length of S is 96. In console window, you can see this. The length of S window is 96. So there are 96 number of observations in S. So there are 96 observations are stored in S. Okay. Let me explain one again the fundamental of this sequence. Actually, what we are going to do, we are trying to generate a sequence from minimum value to maximum value with an interval of 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So for this, there is a sequence command which is equal to seq, give the minimum number, lowest value, comma, give the highest value, and comma, give the increment. And it increment may be continuous number also. 2.74 if you are giving, then it will Control R. Let's run it and print R. We have to give in here. I'm writing here S. Okay, these are the numbers which are generated with the interval of 2.74. 10, first number is 10, second number is 12.74, third number is 15.48, fifth number is 18.22, 20.96. So this is a sequence which is taking the interval of 2.74. Now, if we want to calculate that how many numbers are exist in the sequence, then this command we have to use length s. So let's run it. Length s, control R, select this command and press control R. This is 70. There are 70 numbers which are stored in small s. If you want to find out the values which are greater than 135, so you have to give the command like this, s and s greater than 135. Let's run it again. Control R. So there are these observations which are greater than 135. Now the question is that we want to know how many observations are greater than 135 in S. So what command we have to give in here? My question is clear. I want to ask what I want to know how many numbers are exist which are greater than 35. Means I'm talking about the length of which? Length of this number. Control C and control V. Then bracket close and then run this command. Control R. So there are 24 observations which are greater than 135 in this sequence. In this sequence, there are 24 observations which are greater than 135. Let's move further. We want to calculate the sum. Some statistics we are going to introduce here. We want to calculate the sum of this sequence. Sum of this sequence means there are 70 observations which are stored in S, and we want to sum of these 70 observations. We want to know about the sum. So there is a command sum for which S, bracket close, and run this command. Control R. So the sum of sequence S, 70 observations, the sum of 70 observations is 7317, 7317.1. So this command is used to get the sum. You can find out the mean also of this sequence. You can find out the mean. So there is a command mean, MEAN. Simply just you have to write mean, nothing else. Mean, bracket S, bracket close. It means it will provide you the mean of S. And what is S? S is a sequence in which some numbers are stored. What are they numbers? It will start it from 10 and go up to 200 with the interval of 2.74. So there are 70 observations we have checked. Here 70 observations are there. So we want to check out the mean of these 70 observations. So we have to write this command like as mean, just simply mean, and parenthesis, put the variable in which you want to find out the mean, then control R. The mean of these 70 observations are 104.53. You can see the answer in the console window. So this some mean, then variance you can find out. For variance, VAR. Just simply write VAR of S. So if you run this command, you will get the variance of S. And what is S? I am again repeating the things. What is S? S is a sequence in which 70 observations are stored, and these 70 observations are lies between 10 to 200, and it is a sequence generated with the interval of 2.74. So let's check the variance of S. Select the command variance S. and control R. Press the control R. So variance is 3109. And if you want to check out the standard deviation, then there is a formula of standard deviation, which is equal to square root of variance. Square root of variance. SQRT, variance VAR into S. Or you can store this value variance Z is equal to variance, then you have to write here, if you are storing variance S into Z, you have to write here Z. SQRT is used to get the square root of the variable. So variance S is stored in Z. So SQRT of Z, you can find out with this command. So let's run once again, follow the procedure, control R. See, there are two methods to run the program from R editor to R console. One I have told you, select the command and press the control R. Second one is what is the second option? Second option is that copy the command. You have select the command, then control C, you have copied it, paste it into R console. Okay, and press enter. So these are the observations. These are the results. Sequence print S as print. It has printed S, and the length of S is 70. These are the observations which are greater than 135. These are the length of those observations which are greater than 135. Sum of S, mean of S, variance of S, and SQRT of S, yani standard deviation of S. So these are the some commands which we have done in R. Now let's move further for correlation. There are some methods through which we can calculate the coefficient of correlation. Correlation means we want to check the linear relationship between the variables. So there are Karl Pearson coefficient of correlation, rank correlation coefficient is also there, and scatter diagram is also there to get the idea of the correlation. So we are introducing a new variable y, which is equal to S square, which is equal to S square. Now we want to draw a scatter diagram between S and Y. Okay, what we are trying to do, we have now two variables we have. One is S is a sequence from 10 to 200, and the another variable is Y is equal to S square. We want to draw the scatter diagram between S and Y. Scatter diagram actually tell us about the correlation coefficient, about the correlation actually. It shows that it is positively positive correlation is there, or negative correlation is there, correlation is 0. It will provide us the degree and direction of the correlation actually. So for making the scatter diagram, there is a command, plot bracket what we want to plot, S comma Y. S comma Y. We want to plot S comma Y. S will be defined on x-axis and Y will be defined on the y-axis. Okay, if you want to check out the values of S and Y, S you have the values of S already. And if you want to check out the values of Y, print what you have to write here, print Y. Now we have given a command, plot SY. So the result, just think about that. What will be the result of this command, whatever we have right here? There is a sequence named S. There is another variable Y, which is equal to S square. If S is 10, then Y will be 100. If S is 12, Y will be 144. like that. And we want to print y. We want to print the values of y. Okay, then we are going to plot variable s on x-axis and y on y-axis. So let's see what's happened. Control C, we are using another method, Control C and Control V. So here S is a sequence, Y is square of X, print Y. The values of Y are here, 100, 162, because the interval is 2.74. It is, that's why it is 162.3076. Third one is 239.6304. Like that, we have the values of Y. So now we have given a command plot s comma y, press enter. You can see the graph here. S is plotted on x-axis, y is plotted on y-axis, and a line we can see which is showing the increasing trend. So this is a scatter diagram. In scatter diagram, one variable will be put it on x-axis and one will go on the y-axis, and the corresponding values of s, x, and y is shown with the help of a figure. So this is showing a increasing trend. It means what it means. What does it mean? It is showing a strong correlation between s and y, because if it give a straight line, if it gives a straight line, it means correlation will be perfect. Correlation will be perfect means it will be increased, both the variables will be deviated in the same direction as well as with the same ratio. It is called the perfect. But here there is a slope here, and after that it looks like a straight line. So it shows that it is a strong correlation between S and Y. One more thing, you can change the color of this graph also. You can make a more pretty. For this, for changing the color, what we have to do, in plot section, in plot command, we have to write comma col, col. Col means it will read it as a color, equal to, and inverted commas, write red in inverted commas. Plot sy col is equal to red in inverted commas. What it will do? It will plot the function of s and y. S will be given in x-axis, y will be on y-axis, and the color of the line, color of the graph will be red. So this is the way through which you can change the color of your graph. Let's run it. Control R. Let's see the graph. The color of line is red now. So you can you can change your color. You can change the color of the graph also in our software. You can make it more beautiful. So now it shows that it is a strong correlation, but there is a drawback of scatter diagram. It does not give any exact value, any numerical value. It cannot provide the numerical value in terms of correlation coefficient. So for getting the numerical value of correlation coefficient, there is a simple, very simple command is there, cor s comma y. Very simple command is here, cor s comma y. Let's run this code, cor s comma y. Print control R, press control R. Then the value of core s comma y, the value of correlation coefficient between s and y is 0.97309. Graph is also showing it has a strong correlation. It has a strong linear correlation, and the numerical value of correlation coefficient is also showing it is a strong correlation, 0.9730, because the correlation lies between -1 to 1. The maximum value will be 1, and it is near about to 1. So it has a strong correlation between S and Y. So this was the functions through which we can calculate some statistical tools. we have more things we have to discuss, but I think I should stop now because I have given a lot of things. You will confused if I will give you more things. So I should stop here.